Welcome back to the Buds in the Box YouTube channel. As you guys know, the Leafs finished first in the North and had a pretty historic season compared to the ones we've seen in our lifetime. So I just thought we'd make a video and, summarize the Leafs season, basically recap it. But I wanted to start off with some, maybe summarize the Leafs seasons in a few sentences or more if you guys want. Anyone want to go first?
Just like summarizing this season.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so start of the year was obviously really hot. Matthews and Marner were on fire. They got off to a really really hot start, which is exactly what we wanted to see out of the Leafs. That was the best start to the season I think they've had in a little while. They went ahead and they took the first place lead. I think they only lost it like once or twice maybe, and it wasn't even because they went in that big losing streak at one time. But I think the first downfall kind of started at that first loss to Ottawa, which was that blown 5-2 lead. That was the first kind of form of adversity that came to the Leafs. But all in all, that was an amazing season. Top of the league standings, top of the division, number one in the division. So I'm really excited for the playoffs, and this is a team that's been constructed to play in the playoffs. To me, I think it's a bonus that they came first place, but I don't think that was even the goal. I think that shows how good they are, but I don't even think that was the goal. I think this team was built to play in playoff hockey. So, yeah.
Well
Yeah,
said.
for sure. And just overall, just a great season. What more can you ask for from just two great players, Matthews and Marner. Obviously, Matthews with that walking away with the Rocket Richard, unless Besser scores 9 goals in one game or whatever. But that's just unbelievable. That's what you want to see, and he's only going to get better from here. So for now, all we can think about is the road ahead, and we also get to see Campbell have a historic run, which is everything that you want. As me as a goalie, watching the Leafs kind of struggle in recent years, like it really comes down to this test. It comes down to the playoffs, and that's where the goalie's got to shine, as we've been seeing. Low scoring, high shots, all that kind of stuff. Extra time. So as Felly just said, right? This team was built for playoffs. They really, no one expected that to happen with Freddie, and you know what? Maybe we just got lucky with the building in terms of the goaltending too. Now.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry for my camera there, but I agree with both of you. They had that hot start and so did Matthews, and then they faced adversity. I think that's the biggest point here. They faced adversity, they overcame it. They had like a 7-game losing streak and still managed to come in first, right? So that's a huge deal, especially going into the playoffs. This team was built for the playoffs, like Felly said, and Campbell's historic streak, winning 11 games in a row to start a season, that's obviously amazing too, and we're looking forward to the playoffs. Just a few things that I wanted to point out, statistically wise. Is my camera bugging?
Yeah.
Hold on. All right, hopefully that's, anyways, like I was saying, just some few stats. So the Leafs finished 6th overall in the league, which is amazing, and you can say the North Division sucks all you want, there's no way to prove it. 5 points at a first, which is amazing. It was a shortened season, but that's still, that's a tight gap there. If they didn't go on that 7-game losing streak, who knows? 35, 14, and 7, and they finished obviously first in the North, as we know. And then Matthews and Marner just beating Matthews by 1 point. Tavares had an amazing season as well, and so did Nylander and Riley offensively. And then obviously there's so many more players that we can mention. So that's basically the Leafs season summarized. Now, did you guys want to go into anything further?
Just to touch on a little bit, just a couple of points. Just going into the playoffs here, I am super nervous. Obviously, I've never witnessed the Leafs win playoff series. I'm pretty sure the last one they did win was the year we were born. So, in 2002. So I'm obviously super nervous. You can never be too confident going into a series. And last year, I think everyone in the play-in round pretty confident against Columbus. Looking back at that team, there were a lot of holes that were there were huge holes in the lineup. When you look at the defense, just the defense alone, you had Riley and Barry. So Barry, both those guys are offensive defensemen. Muzzin got injured in game 1 or 2. Muzzin did barely play in that series. Was the best shutdown defenseman on the team last year. And then the rest of the defense were Dermott, Hull, Marinson, and there was one other guy, but I can't remember who it was right now.
CC?
But CC. Okay. So when you look at that decor, compare it to this year now you have Riley with a shutdown defenseman, Brody. Brody knows how to play defense, and he knows how to play in the playoffs. I'm pretty sure he's played playoffs before. So you get that right away is better than I'm going to compare him to Tyson Barrie. So immediately you get that, just a better piece in there. And then the second pairing with Muzzin and Hull, shutdown D, shutdown pair. And this is all hoping there's no injuries. But even if there is an injury, there's Ben Hutton sitting on the sidelines, right? Travis Dermott's probably going to be sitting on the sidelines. And then Sandin, who's developed into, so far, a pretty good defenseman, playing with a guy like Bogosian. And Bogosian has playoff experience. He won the Stanley Cup last year, playing every game.
And he played well too.
Sorry?
He was a key piece of that Lightning team.
Exactly. So they're just adding pieces. That's just the D. That's not even talking about Simmons, who's a playoff machine. That's not even talking about Foligno, who is the most clutch playoff player, like one of the most clutch playoff players you can get. And you guys know I'm not super high on Riley Nash, but Riley Nash is known for his defensive play and his playoff play. So this team has no holes. In my eyes, goaltending would be the one hole. I love Campbell as much as anyone does, but he's never played a playoff game in his career, let alone started this many games in one season. And Anderson has been known to not be good in the playoffs. And Riddick has shown that he has his demons. So I would say the only worry I have is goaltending, but Leafs fans looking into the playoffs this year, you got to look at the lineup and just look at how full it is. What's his name? Simmons is playing literally on the fourth line. Like that's.
Galchenyuk's probably not even going to make it.
Galchenyuk might get scratched. Yeah. So Galchenyuk also a huge piece. They've just got guys that can move in and out now. Like whoever's hot. Like last year they didn't have the luxury of doing that. So hopefully we don't look back at this video in a couple of weeks and start crying. But I'm feeling quite confident this year.
Yeah, for sure. There's no doubt about it that everything points towards this year, and that's on and off the ice in terms of superstitions, just relevancy to 67, all stuff like that. I have a few things in my head, but we'll save that for the end. But in terms of goaltending, I mean, Campbell's never started, but he's never gone 11-0 in 1 year. So there's that. You never know if what if he just goes back on a hot streak at the start? Like, what if he just goes crazy? Like you never know, right? So, and then Anderson, he's never won a playoff series, but he can be clutch at times. So, maybe Campbell hits a fork in the road for one game, and Anderson steps in, plays great that game, play him again, decent game, throw Campbell back in, and then we roll with that duo. But even that being said, like Riddick's had one bad game with us. He's in what, like 3 or 4 games. So I mean, and that's also without his nasty setup. So just in terms of Riddick, I mean, I personally think our goaltending's fine. It comes down to injury and who can play with who, because we don't know what those practices are going on. We don't know if Riley Nash, if Nash is gelled with the boys yet, or he's good in practice, and then he goes into a game and he can't pass the puck to anyone. You know what I mean? It's just like this is a risky play to play Nash in that first game, and we're probably going to get to that video discussing the lineup and our personal thoughts on that. But I think it's risky, but as we've all agreed on, he's a clutch player, and Felly just said the amount of clutchness Tavares won the Islanders multiple series just by playing unbelievable in OT and stuff like that, right? So we have a bunch of clutch players, which is what you need, and if Matthews and Marner stay on pace, like keep the same pace going into playoffs, who's stopping us?
And
go ahead.
Sorry, so there's just one more thing I want to say, and it made me feel a lot better about this series and the playoffs in general. Specifically goaltending and just with the Leafs in general and against the Canadians specifically. But with goaltending, Campbell played 22 games, right? He lost 3 games in regulation. 3. You need to lose 4 games to lose a playoff series. So he played 22 games and only lost 3 in regulation. You know, I'm not a mathematician, but basically that's 1 loss for every, don't quote me here, but every 8 or 7, something like that, every 7 games basically.
They're hockey fans, Philly. I don't think they care.
Every 7 games is 1 loss. So mathematically, you're looking at a 4-1 series victory if you're looking at it like that. If Campbell, keeps his pace, obviously that's super far-fetched. And the other thing I wanted to say was, Leafs played the Canadians 10 times this year. The season series was 7 wins and 3 losses for the Leafs. So they only lost 3 times out of 10 games. They need 4 wins to win the series. So if they only lost 3 times against Montreal out of 10 games, if they even get to 7 games, they have to lose 4. They haven't even lost 4 games against them yet. So this is obviously all hypothetical, and it's a different monster in the playoffs. Obviously, anything can happen. It's pro sports. Anything can happen. But statistically, looking at those stats, that's what made me kind of calm down and be like, okay, is Campbell really going to blow 4 out of 7 games? Is he really going to have 4 games where he loses? He wants to win, that guy. He's a winner. So and same with Foligno and same with Simmons is going to be a different monster. We'll talk about that another time, but and then Hyman's going to be back, and Hyman's having a career year. So it's that I'm kind of calming down about it, but I'll never be calm until the series is actually over.
No team can ever be calm about a team in play, or no fan can ever be calm about a team in playoffs, because playoffs are a totally different type of hockey. We've all been watching, and this is unheard of hockey. This is unbelievable. We all know
that Florida
hockey.
Tampa game. Oh my God.
we all know playoff hockey, but this is unbelievable. This is another year just because of the divisions. It's just rival versus rival, and just what's I guess dark horse versus just crazy team versus crazy team. You know what I mean? That Florida Tampa series is going to be nuts, and I mean this series is also going to be crazy. We are going to be watching 2 of the hottest goalies right now in the North Division face off. That being Carey Price and Jack.
Actually,
Campbell.
Hasn't Price not had the greatest year?
I mean, he hasn't had the greatest year, but he's still somehow that's comparing him to Hellebuck. You know what I mean? So. We're gonna watch the hottest goalie in the North Division, and then Carey Price.
Yeah, well, I have to agree with you guys on that playoff stuff. I couldn't have said it any better myself. You guys summarized everything perfectly. But Felly, I do have to say, if Don Cherry heard you call Campbell a winner, he would have tried to punch you out or something.
Yeah, I'm not Don Cherry. Don Cherry's he's too old to be doing this. So I mean, no, but I think Campbell, we've seen him make desperation saves that I've never seen Anderson try for, basically any goalie in the league. What he's really been reminding me of is that playoff run with Binnington, that Stanley Cup run with Binnington, the Blues. He's really reminding me of Binnington, like with some of the like he's willing to put himself completely on the line to make a save. That's why he's got injured twice, but hopefully doesn't.
Well, I mean, yeah, literally. But I mean that's where it comes down to athleticism, and I don't want to bash Anderson because Felly, you said you like Anderson's play, his robotic kind of style. Just off athleticism, it like when it comes down to Freddie versus Campbell, someone somewhere that I saw with that relation between Binnington and Campbell, you see that there's a lot of athleticism in that game, and that's where it comes down to in the playoffs. We were just actually watching Binnington, and he's had some athletic saves. It doesn't all come down to positioning; it comes down to who wants it the most, and that's the playoffs. That's hitting, that's blocking shots, that's everything, and it's however bad you want it. And it's just personally, I've never seen Freddie really want it. You know what I mean? He's played for the Leafs. He's had that crest, but like he's never been like, oh damn, we just got knocked out of the first round for like third year in a row or whatever. You know what I mean? So and that's where it comes down to heart, and that's where the boys, I think, where it's important in the playoffs too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and skill really is important in the playoffs, but there like it obviously is, because skill players can still show out obviously anywhere if you're good enough. But at the same time, if the other team is working harder than you have no chance. So that's why I think it's really important to have these super hardworking guys, just Hyman, who's just grown into this amazing hardworking player, hardest working player in the league, if you ask me. And I know you guys think that too. Simmons, going into corners, Foligno now on the team, right? TJ Brody is one of the hardest working guys, unnoticeable, but hardest working guys. So just guys like that, right? It's just like the Leafs have filled out their lineup to become hardworking. I'm not saying Matthews isn't hardworking like Nylander, but I am saying that they've got these guys that may be like less skilled, but are like extremely hardworking, hard hitting, battle guys. So that's super important for the playoffs. It's just that's what the Leafs haven't had, right?
Yeah, well, the less skilled guys get the puck for the more skilled guys, and then
Yeah,
go 1-0 up on the scoreboard. So.
yeah. So we'll see. We're really excited for this series. I'm really excited for this series, but also my hands are sweating right now.
Yeah, me too. That's crazy.
Yeah, and we'll go more into depth when we do a playoff projection lineup, for sure. But just one question to end on, to recap the season, to end on a good note. Who do you guys believe Who do you guys believe was the MVP of this season? Like pickup wise, like someone we just got this year.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go first. TJ Brody is the MVP for me, and like I said, he is. He doesn't get a lot of recognition, but go look at his stats. He ranks 4th in the entire NHL in plus minus. Okay. He's rarely on for a goal against. Rarely. And it's usually his fault. Shit. One sec. Yeah, so Brody is 4th in the league in plus minus, and that just shows, he's not on for a lot of goals against. He he's just a hardworking guy, like I've said already. He does the right thing. He plays 2-on-1. He gets back. He never makes I've rarely makes an error in his own end. And that's basically the difference between the Leafs tried it out having Barry. They didn't need Barry. Barry is basically Riley, right? So picking up Brody was just giving them that defensive, and he makes really good breakout passes. Everything about his game I love, and that was the smartest move in my eyes by Kyle Dubas, was to pick up TJ Brody in the offseason.
Yeah, for sure. That's a great pick. That would have been mine. But I just wanna spice up the video here. Make it a little bit different. I gotta go with Simmons. He brings a very similar aspect to the game, but offensively, he's a hard hitter. He's a momentum changer, and he's just a big body. So as we know in the beginning of the season, on that power play, it seemed to work when he sat in front of goalies and Matthews let them go. That was working, but you never know what's going on inside. We don't have that intel, so But that being said, he was great on the power play. He's a great two-way, and I cannot wait to see that beast be released in the playoffs. That is just going to be something that I can't wait. In that blue and white, that's going to be unbelievable. That body being thrown around. Montreal is going to turtle, and if they don't, then it's their fault.
Listen, we're gonna talk about that a lot in the next podcast. I want to talk about Wayne Simmons for like an hour. No, I'm kidding. But I want to talk about Wayne Simmons for a long time, but he can change the momentum of a game with one play, like one hit, one fight. He's willing to fight anyone. Okay, so Wayne Simmons, that's an amazing pick, Jude. That would have been my second pick as well. So, Eric,
Yeah,
what do you think?
We switched picks then.
Yeah.
Well, I just want to give a quick few shout outs first. So shout out to Felly because it's actually his birthday today. And we did a podcast on his birthday last year, so kind of like an
Wow.
anniversary thing, or an annual thing. But happy 19th birthday, Felly.
Oh,
Make
thank
sure
you,
you guys
guys.
go comment happy
Happy
birthday, Felly.
birthday.
Also, remember to enter our jersey giveaway. It will be linked in the description. And as you guys know, we're being sponsored by Manscaped. So make sure you go to manscaped.com and use code BUDS20 to get 20% off and free shipping. Felly has the items and products that they send us for free. So they're awesome. Go check them out. My MVP of the season. All right. It's going back and forth for me. I think I got to choose two here. None of the guys you guys have chosen, but you guys forgot two players that have been the most important. And those guys are Travis Boyd and Jimmy Vesey because they took one for the team, went to Vancouver and got COVID-19. So that the Leafs didn't have to.
Jeez.
So
Controversial.
Yeah. So, but no, I'd probably choose Campbell. I'd technically count him as a pickup, but obviously,
We'll let you go there.
Yeah.
We'll let it slide.
So yeah, that about does it. Unless you guys have any things you want to say. No.
I mean, you could have said Galchenyuk, but whatever.
Okay. Yeah. Sure. Well, I'll go with Galchenyuk then. Thank you guys for watching. Comment your opinion, how you think the Leaf season was, especially compared to all the recent seasons. And we really appreciate you guys watching. So make sure you guys like, subscribe, and comment and enter the jersey giveaway. This has been the Buds in the Box, and bye for now.